Like, fuck.
I know. We are live, by the way. Happy Sunday. It's definitely not a happy one for me. I lost a lot of money yesterday. And honestly, since last... Well, actually, I won with the Seahawks on Monday night. But this whole week has been shit for me, man. The Middle Tennessee on Wednesday, then Friday night. Actually, no, Friday night was all right. I had the... Because I won Nebraska. But then yesterday wasn't great. The top bets did go 4-2 yesterday, so I did get a couple messages like, "Yo, great picks today." I was like, "What? No, they weren't." But then I realized, like, oh, he's talking about the top bets. All right, so let's run through the games. Did Travis Ridley just catch that? No, incomplete. All right, there's 17 seconds left in the half, so this will not be a distraction, I promise. Anyway, let's run the intro and get it started.
Welcome to the source. The source. Hey, get the source.
All right, so is this our first game? Yeah, Jacksonville's happening now. So our first game will be Giants at Dolphins. Toast, weather report, please.
Should be fine to conclude. There was supposed to be like a tiny bit of scattered showers, but you're still going to be fine. I don't even think we're going to see anything to have to be concerning.
And Prop Beaver, this is 12.5, right? It was like 45 minutes ago.
No, well, you could get at 12.5, you could get at 13, or you could get at 13.5. Multiple books have it in multiple spots. Line for the total consensus is 47.5.
47.5. So I'll put Giants plus 13.5 on the poll, because if someone's line shopping, they can get that. All right, so the poll is up. Giants, Dolphins, cast your votes. Prop Beaver, start us off here.
Yeah, so I got this. I put the Dolphins first half minus 6.5. I got that earlier in the week. Now it's at 7.5, 8 on some books. So what I'm trying to get for you guys right now is I'm trying to put a little bit of an SGP together. Wow. This doesn't even offer value. I'll just pass on this game, to be quite frank with you. I tried to put an SGP together with A-Chain. The value on that sucks. There's no point in betting this game if you don't have the Dolphins.
Bills just recovered a fumble.
Through the first half.
I'm sorry. Now it's halftime. It's halftime now. Bills recovered a fumble. Jags aren't going to score. All right, so you ready for this? I'm starting off with some smoke. Give me...
I hope it's the Giants.
It's the Giants. Oh, no. Get that off. Giants. I am taking the G-Men plus 12.5. Yeah, we added these new graphics. These are cool. Excited about them. So I am on Giants plus 12.5, and I hate myself for it. I despise myself for it. But I'm getting 12.5 points, 13.5 if you line shop, and 96% of the public is on one side. I don't know if I've ever even seen that much of the public on one side before. I'm cringing taking the Giants, but I'm doing it. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, the last time that this has happened, the money's been like that. It was 2008 Patriots versus the Seahawks. This is by far the most public side in the last 15 years.
Yeah, I've never seen anything like it. It's crazy. I screenshotted it and sent it to like all my friends, all my group chats. So anyway, Dolphins offense obviously explosive. But you know what? We can poke holes in this Dolphins defense. Miami's allowing 7.3 yards per pass attempt. It's 27th in the NFL. 27th. They're just a 29th ranked defense DVOA wise. Dolphins defense hasn't been good. And look, after seeing the Seahawks pass rush completely destroy the Giants on Monday Night Football, and we all saw it. It's fresh in everyone's heads, right? That Seahawks pass rush showed up, and it destroyed Daniel Jones. You know the Dolphins are going to be dialing up a lot of blitzes. Miami's already 6th in the NFL in blitz rate. There's blood in the water. This is a team that likes to blitz. They're coming for Daniel Jones. But I think Brian Daboll's going to have his offense ready for it. Keep in mind, Daniel Jones completed 65.5% of his passes against the blitz when he was blitzed last season. That was 7th in the NFL. Josh Allen, very efficient against the blitz his years under Brian Daboll. Brian Daboll's not the type of guy that doesn't know how to prepare for a blitz. I think he's going to be ready for it. I think the Giants are going to keep the chains moving and move the ball here on the Dolphins defense. Keep Tua on the sideline. Now, on the other side of the ball are the Giants. Is the Giants' defense in trouble? Of course they are. The Dolphins are going to make plays offensively without a doubt. Can't negate that. But the Giants normally run a decent amount of man coverage. Obviously, they don't have people on their roster that can cover those guys. They're going to have to sit in more zone than they're comfortable with. But there is actually an angle for the Giants defense that I kind of like. Just hear me out. Stop it, Prop Beaver. You didn't even hear my angle yet. So
No, you stop it. What the fuck are you rambling on about, bro? The Dolphins are going to shit pump this team. The entire world could be on this bet, and they're still going to get shit pumped.
Ready? So the Buffalo Bills defense showed us what Tua and the Dolphins offense can look like if you put pressure on the quarterback. And up until that point, Miami hadn't seen a pass rush yet. Chargers back in week 1, the Chargers early in the season weren't pressuring anybody. They had not seen a pass rush up until the Bills game. So that was the first time we saw the Dolphins defense Dolphins offense see an actual pass rush. Giants may not have a ton of sacks, but they're 4th in the NFL in pressure rate, and we saw the pass rush coming to life last week against the Seahawks. Remember, it was the Giants offense that lost them the game against Seattle. The defense was great. Seattle had just 281 yards of offense in that game. And if we really take a step back and look at the Dolphins' body of work, right? You got the Denver Broncos blowout, which was insanely impressive. That was awesome. But the other 3 games, looking back now, they barely beat the Chargers on a comeback win at the end. Chargers aren't even that good. They easily could have lost the Patriots game. They barely beat the Patriots. It was 24-17. And then they got blown out by the Bills. So if you take away the Broncos blowout, the Dolphins' body work isn't even that impressive to be laying 12.5. I'm doing it. I'm taking the Giants.
Yeah, I played Jalen Waddle over his longest reception over 22.5 yards at -114. I trust this guy. I don't love it just because as soon as I started researching this game, I saw how public it was. I don't know if I have the balls to bet the Giants, so I'm just going to probably hang at this thing. But I don't know if I can bet the Dolphins knowing how public it is. But I don't see a way that the Dolphins don't blow them out. I understand what you said and stuff like that, but I got to see it before I bet it.
Our community, as expected, all over Miami. 53% of our viewers betting on the Dolphins, 28% betting on the Giants. And that comment, that is 100% why. If the Miami doesn't put up points, they are working with Vegas. Dude, the only team they lit up was the Broncos. That's it. Look at the other games. That's the only team they lit up. They scored
lit up the Chargers.
So who hasn't lit up the
Chargers?
Chargers have the worst defense in the NFL.
When the Giants are down 30-6 headed into halftime, just know that
the back door will be swinging open. All right.
And the Dolphins lead the league in points per game at 37.5.
Yeah, because they scored 70 in one of them, Toast.
Okay, but there's still a math. There's 4 other games. That's still a high. Over 30 points a game is a lot in the NFL.
Toast, can I get a weather report in Foxborough, please?
In Foxborough, yes, 60 degrees, partly cloudy, but Sunday are all sunny, so we should be all right to play some football.
Saints plus 1.5, Prop Era?
Yes, it is at 1.5, and the total's at 38.5. Very nice.
38.5, yeah. That makes sense. All right. Prop Beaver, do you have something for us here?
No. Hate passing back-to-back, but I have tons of picks to come. I just don't really like this game at all. Hard to get a read on either team right now. Derek Carr, who knows if that shoulder is going to be working for him. I mean, the guy couldn't throw farther than 2 yards down the field last Sunday, so I'm not exactly hype to back him against a Belichick defense, even if they're without some of their key pieces. And then on the other side, I mean, I have zero interest in backing the Patriots unless I'm fading them. Don't exactly have a position I want to fade. I wanted to fade Hunter Henry, but his prop got so low that it has zero value. So I'm just going to pass. I don't really love this slate, and these first 2 games are not my cup of tea.
Yeah, I don't love this one either. I put this one on YouTube, so you guys know that I'm on the Saints. But this is one of my smaller bets of the day. Won't waste a bunch of time on it. Basically, I think Derek Carr is going to have time to throw in the pocket. The Patriots' pass rush has been underwhelming this year, and now we get a look at him without Matthew Judon on the field, Matthew Judon, I think, is the most underrated defensive player in the NFL. He's so good, and he never gets talked about because he just doesn't say anything, keeps his mouth shut up in New England. No one ever talks about him, but he's so good. He's out. Christian Gonzalez out for the year, obviously. Patriots' defense is banged up. Don't have a ton of faith in Derek Carr going on the road in Foxborough, but I think the New Orleans Saints, as I said on YouTube, their offensive line's a little undervalued. Their pass protection numbers are good. The sack numbers are bad, but they're 11th in pressure rate. So Derek Carr's just got to do a little bit better job of taking dumb sacks, and I think he'll work on it. Hopefully he's playing. That's why it's not a big bet, because I'm assuming Derek Carr's going to play. Red mix things on it, but I don't want to waste any more time on this game because I don't even like it.
Yeah. The only thing I can say is I was leaning towards the under. The Saints have gone under in, I think, 13 or 14, 13 of the last 14. I mean, it's partly because of that defense. Their defense have held opponents under 21 points in 11 consecutive games. That streak ended last Sunday. I would assume that defense shows up today, so I'm going to play the under 39.5.
All right, under. Can't argue with an under. Our poll is on the Saints. Actually surprised by that. I thought this one would be more split. 51% of our viewers on New Orleans, 30% on New England, 11% under, 7% over. Wait, people are saying the mic's cutting out for Toast. I don't know. Just keep going because it sounds fine on my end. Ravens at Steelers. Can I get a weather report in Pittsburgh?
In Pittsburgh, yes. Let me find it on the list.
Not
Pittsburgh,
Heinz Field anymore.
53 degrees. It's not? What's it called?
It's called it's probably. Do you happen to know?
Ashoker, or Ashoker. I don't fucking know. It's
Wow.
some bullshit insurance company. It's ass.
They
Nobody
messed that
cares.
up.
The
All
times.
right, 53.
All right,
and cloudy.
Mr. Participation. Get the fuck out of here.
Okay. No, I would please.
All right. So the weather's good. 53 and cloudy.
Yes.
Okay. 4.5. And what's the total at Prop Beaver?
Total's at 38.5. Another absolute heater of a game.
All right, Prop Beaver. Can I finally take the pass down from under your name?
I literally am forcing a bet here so that you can take it down. Give me Minka Fitzpatrick over 6.5 tackles plus assist and Gus Edwards 25 plus yards parlay together, and that comes out to minus 105. So Fitzpatrick 7 plus tackles plus assist, Gus Edwards 25 plus yards. You may ask yourself, Prop Beaver, where does this come from? Why do you want to bestow this knowledge upon us? It's because Mr. Fitzpatrick is just. He's in a beautiful spot today. He's got 9, 11, 6, and 9 combined tackles in his last 4 against the Ravens. And with the fact that he's going to be guarding Mark Andrews, Lamar Jackson's favorite target, and Lamar Jackson has a tendency to run, scramble outside the pocket, I think Fitzpatrick's going to have a ton of tackle opportunities today. He cashed his last 2. I think he stays hot here. And then in terms of the Gus Edwards play, I mean, Gus Edwards getting the bulk of the carries. His line moved from 43.5 to start the week to 50.5 now. And the main reason for that is because the Steelers' rush defense without Cam Hayward is absolutely pissed. Bottom 5 in the league. We saw an inefficient Dameon Pierce run for 84 yards against them last week. I think Gus Edwards could get us 25 here. So minus 105, I think that's good value.
I don't know. There's a bunch of people saying they can't hear properly, and then there's a bunch of people that are saying they hear fine. I really don't know what to do with that information.
We got madness.
It's coming in fine for me.
People are saying I've never sounded better.
I really don't know what to do about that. Should we just keep going? Yeah, whatever. I don't know. I wouldn't even know how to fix it. All the things I see on my end are fine. Everything sounds fine. I see, like, what the hell? Everyone's saying they're here fine. I think people are just being dicks. Anyway, I'm on the Steelers in this one, taking the points. It's tough, but I do really like it. If I'm going to lay 4.5 points on the road in a division game, I better love it. And I just don't with this Ravens team. You get Mike Tomlin as a home dog, where historically he's been excellent. You also get the Steelers coming off an embarrassing loss to a rookie quarterback, got completely blown out by C.J. Stroud. Look, we know the Steelers are going to struggle to move the ball in this game on Baltimore's defense. It's not a hot take. Everybody knows that. If you're looking for an angles for the Steelers offense, I got something for you. Here you go. Ravens run a ton of man coverage. Baltimore lives in man. 63.8% of their defensive snaps have been in man coverage this season. That's the second most in the NFL. Kenny Pickett, he's having a terrible season, but actually he's been all right throwing the ball against man coverage. 18th in passer rating and 8th with 7.54 net yards per attempt. That's not a deal breaker. I'm just saying if you were in the boat that I was, which was, look, I know that Pittsburgh plus 4.5 is the move here in this division game, but I need something. If you were just I need something to get there. There's something. Ravens defense obviously is good as hell, and they're getting Marlon Humphrey back as well. But I'm not betting the Steelers because of their offense versus the Ravens defense. I'm betting their Steelers based on the matchup on the other side. Steelers may have gotten lit up by C.J. Stroud last week, but Houston didn't do much on the ground, just 3.7 yards per carry. Stroud's a much more talented thrower of the ball than Lamar Jackson. Baltimore's offense is nothing like Houston's. Baltimore has run the Baltimore Ravens this year have run the ball on 54.51% of their offensive snaps. That's first in the NFL. Nobody has run the ball more frequently than the Baltimore Ravens this year. And the Steelers are just going to load the box like they always do, take away the run, and make the matchup of this game Lamar Jackson versus the Steelers pass rush. This is what they've done in previous matchups, and it's worked. You want to know the last time Lamar Jackson has beaten the Steelers? October 2019, 4 years ago. That was the last time Lamar Jackson beat the Steelers, and the score in that game was 26-23 in overtime. So he wouldn't even have covered the 4.5. So yeah, all over Pittsburgh plus 4.5 here.
Yeah, that's what we were just talking about when we went live. I didn't know it was going to be this public, but yeah, I took the Steelers as well. I'm partly tailing sus, but there's some crazy trends that come into this game too. Over the last 20 years, the dog in this series is 28, 12, and 3. In the regular season, when the line's 3 or more, the underdog's 21, 3, and 3 ATS. The final margins between the Steelers and the Ravens since 2020, their games, 3 points, 2 points, 3 points, 1 point, 5, and 4. So these games are extremely, extremely close. Oh, and in the regular season, when these two coaches face off, the underdog is 22, 5, and 3 again. So there's every single thing about this tells you to take the points in this series. So I'm just going to keep on doing it until it proves it wrong.
Yeah, that was spot on with what I'm thinking too. So I'm on the Steelers. Our community heavy on Baltimore. 55% of our viewers are laying the points with Baltimore. 29% taking them. Let's move on to the next game. Carolina at Detroit. All right. Can I get a weather? Oh, no. Don't need a weather report.
It's in a dome, Chief.
I know.
It's in a dome.
I caught
you're walking
myself
in the
before I
casino-
even finished it.
All right.
People,
spreads
maybe
at-
if somebody's walking into the casino, there is rain in Detroit, so make yourself a jacket if you're going to the casino after the game.
Lots of participation there. So the
There's a lot of
Panthers, it's 9.5, almost every single book, and then the totals at 43.5.
43.5. All right. Let's run the poll. Prop Beaver, what are you doing?
I'm going with a receiving prop here, and it's a bit of an ugly one, but I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm going with Hayden Hurst over 19.5 receiving yards. He's coming off 3 absolute stinkers in a row. First game, he had 7 targets, 5 receptions, 41 yards. Last 3 games, 9 targets, 5 receptions, 38 yards. So he had more production the first game than he has the last 3 combined. But the man is in a beautiful matchup this week because the Lions allow the most yards per game, the most targets per game, and the most receptions per game to opposing tight ends. And it's not like Hurst splits targets either. He has 15 targets to Ian Thomas and Tommy Tremble's combined 3. Now, something I want to point out is that the Lions are a zone-heavy defense thus far, 7th highest in frequency. With Man and Bryce Young on the field, Hurst has a 5.5% target rate. That's piss. But against zone with Young on the field, that skyrockets to 15.5%. That's quite good, and he's turned 9 of those targets into 7 receptions for 61 yards. The name of the game is targets here. Is Hayden Hurst going to get 4+ targets? Because he's had 3+ in all 4 games, and with 4+ targets, he's 12-1 to the over going back to last year, averaging 41 yards per game. With 3 or less, just 15 yards per game. I think he gets 4+ targets here. I think he may get 5+ targets here. So I'm betting him over 19.5. And personally, I sprinkled him to get 40+ yards on DraftKings at plus 275. 9.5 point dogs. They should be passing all game. I love it.
I'm on the over in this one at 44. It's the Lions at home. They've been really good here. Run defense is excellent. Going on the road to sorry about that. Going on the road to Ford Field and trying to establish a run game on the Lions defense is not easy. Ask the Falcons how it worked out for them. And they can actually run the ball. Carolina can't. So the run game ain't going to be there for the Panthers, which means there's going to be a ton of pressure on Bryce Young to produce. But I actually think he plays a good game. I actually think we might see Bryce Young's best game throwing the football yet. Lions made some moves in the offseason to address the secondary, but they're just crushed with injuries. C.J. Gardner-Johnson still on the IR. Brian Branch out in this game. I think Emmanuel Mosley might not even play again. Kirby Joseph is banged up. Lions secondary is a mess right now. We saw Geno Smith come into this field, light the Lions secondary up. I know Bryce Young is not Geno Smith. He's a rookie. Panthers don't have the weapons the Seahawks have, I know. But I think we're going to see Bryce Young have a great game here throwing the ball. Now, on the other side, there's all kinds of injury new updates here on the Lions. The positive ones would be the offensive line is completely healthy. Taylor Decker's back. That guy Vitae, he's most likely back. The guard. The center, Ragnow, he was dealing with something. I think he's good. So the Giants' offensive line should be fully healthy, and that's a very good offensive line. But the bad news is Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jahmyr Gibbs both out. Two huge hits to the Lions' passing game. But with this offensive line fully intact, they're playing Carolina. They're just going to run the ball. David Montgomery looked great running the ball last week. And the Panthers have the worst run defense in the NFL. They are literally 32nd. They cannot stop the run to save their lives. Carolina's allowing 4.7 yards per carry on the season. Dead last in adjusted line yards. They're dead last in run defense DVOA. Montgomery should be ripping off chunks nonstop between the tackles here. And it's not like, here's the thing, it's not like the Panthers can adjust for it. It's not like Carolina can throw 8 in the box and try to take the run away. It's Jared Goff at Ford Field. Even without St. Brown, he'll still roast you if you try to do that. So I'm expecting heavy dose of Montgomery in this one. If I had to pick a side, I'd probably lean Carolina plus the points, but feel most comfortable here just playing the under.
You're playing the under? I thought you were playing the
over. I'm sorry. I was reading something.
I'm on the over as well. Like you talked about, I think that Detroit should be able to score pretty well. I mean, Carolina's pass rush is really struggling. 55 pressures, that's fewest in the NFL this year. Panthers defense is allowing over 30 points a game. So yeah, maybe the Lions are gonna have to do some heavy lifting. But yeah, like you talked about, Bryce Young hasn't been very good. There's no question about that. But I think he only needs a couple. Yeah, so he'll get better as the weeks go on, I'm sure. I don't know how bad he is, really. We'll see. But, yeah, I'm playing the over here no matter what.
He's been quite bad. I think he has
been struggling.
I know he's been bad, but he also hasn't got a lot of help. I know that he's been pressured a lot and stuff. But, yeah, I'm not trying to make an excuse for him.
46% of our viewers are laying the points at the Lions, 32% taking the 9.5 with the Panthers, 16% over. All right, next game. Houston at Atlanta. Can I get a line, please?
Well, sure, sir. You could get 2.5 on most books, and then for a total, 42 is pretty much the consensus.
42? Over 42. Under 42. All right, polls running. Prop Beaver, what are you doing?
So before I get into the prop, I checked the audio like 3 times. I don't see any issues, so... Dameon Pierce under 51.5 rushing yards here. Instead of taking Bijan Robinson over 80.5 like I was looking at, I just decided, hey, that total's a bit high. I still think the Falcons are going to control time of possession. So I'm going to go with Pierce under 51.5 rushing yards here. I love Dameon Pierce, but to put it very bluntly, the guy's been putrid thus far. 45.3 yards per game on 2.8 yards per carry. I mean, I get that his O-line is banged up, but, like, he isn't helping himself. His north-south rating is 3rd worst in all of football. He has 8 defenders in the box on 42% of his carries, 4th highest in the NFL, and he spent the 8th most time behind the line of scrimmage. He's dancing back there. He doesn't know what to do, and he's getting blasted. His rush yards over expectation, 13th. So he's having a really bad season. And what I noticed is that he's playing less snaps. He's only in on 50% of snaps this year, 64% of snaps last year. He was a volume merchant last year when he was cashing this. And before hitting 81 yards against Steelers last week, he went under 3 straight games, averaging 33 yards per game on 13.3 attempts. If you know anything about the Falcons this year, their rush defense is their strength. 10th in rush DVOA, 12th fewest yards per carry allowed to running backs. I know that the Falcons have looked terrible lately, but I like the spot for Atlanta, and I think that they're going to win the ball game by controlling that clock, forcing Bijan down their throat, and that's especially the case with Houston's horrible rush defense. I noticed that Pierce's rush attempts line is at 12.5, 13.5 on most books. He's had 14-plus rush attempts in 13 to 17 games. So unless they're opening a charity today for the books, I don't think that he's going to go over that total. With 13 or less carries, the guy's 4-0 to the under, averaging 22 yards per game. So I'm going under. I love the under here.
I am on as you guys already know, I am on Atlanta. I actually bet the money line heavy. It was minus 130, and I just hit that hard because Atlanta has been involved in a couple 1-point games. 1 and 2-point games have been way more frequent this year. So I actually hit Atlanta money line, but still would lay the 2.5. I'm on the Falcons here. This one was on YouTube, so I'll be very brief. The reason I faded the Falcons the last 2 weeks was they played the Lions and then they played the Jags, both on the road. There are so many splits there that I hate. The Falcons need to run the ball. This is a team built to run the ball. They played the Lions and Jags, 2 great run defenses, and 2 games that were on the road. Desmond Ridder, even dating back to his days as a member of the Cincinnati Bearcats, is much more comfortable at home. Much better at home.
Never lost.
Yeah, he's never... Wait, no, he lost... Oh, wait, is that still alive?
Never lost. In home or college, Desmond Ritter's never lost a home game.
Never lost a home game. So, yeah, we're home where Desmond Ritter's better against a bad run defense in Houston. I don't see... Look, the public's all over the Texans right now. C.J. Stroud looks great, and he deserves all the credit he's getting. Looks like he's going to be the guy out there. But how does all these people betting Houston, how do they see the Texans defense getting the Falcons offense off the field? Because they're going to be ripping chunks. Bijan Robinson against, outside of the Detroit game, because they were able to hold them, but Detroit's got a great run defense. Bijan Robinson's averaging 6.6 yards per carry, and he seems to be getting better every week. He looks awesome against a bad Texans run defense. I don't see how Houston can get that offense off the field. So I like Atlanta in a comfortable win. Atlanta by at least a touchdown. I'll lay the 2.5. I'll play the money line. Atlanta.
Yeah, I'm all over you. The Falcons played the Texans after London last week. That's only happened 10 times. Atlanta should be fine. Out of 10 of those teams, 7 of those teams hit their team total over, so it's really not that big of a flat spot as people think it is. So, yeah, I'm riding the Dirty Birds as well. As soon as you said the public was on New England, I was already set to make the bet on my phone.
Public's on Houston.
Houston. Sorry, yeah.
They have the same blue, but yeah, public.
I saw the blue and the red. Yeah, that's what I saw.
The Texans and the Patriots have a very similar blue. Our poll is on Houston. Not as crazy as I thought, though. It looks like 49% of our viewers are on the Texans, 39% on the Falcons, 7% over, 4% under. Next game, Tennessee at Indy. Let's run a poll. No weather report necessary in this one. Titans, is this a 2.5 prop beaver?
Yep, 2.5 consensus, 43.5 consensus.
I like consensus. Under 43.5. All right, prop beaver.
I got 2 plays in this one, both props. Jonathan Taylor, under 50.5 rushing yards.
It's at 50.5?
Yeah, you can still get that on points bet. I got it at 55.5 last night. Some books have it down at 44.5. I know fading Jonathan Taylor's risky business and not normally a great investment. I think I'm, 0-2 fading him lifetime. But I hate the spot for him. He just got paid. When guys get their money, I feel that pressure leads to a different performance. See Joe Burrow. Taylor didn't attend OTAs. He was at camp sparingly this summer. It will be his first game back from an ankle injury that he didn't even look fully healed with just a month ago. He's on a snap count and will be worked back to a regular workload. Oh, and he's facing the Titans' run defense. The run defense that's allowing 70 yards per game and 2.9 yards per carry. Taylor faced this rush defense twice last year. He had 100 yards combined on 30 attempts, just 3.3 yards per carry. And in this predicament, with him not playing at the NFL level in almost nearly a year now, could we expect all that much in terms of workload? I mean, the O-line is not good. 28th in adjusted line yards. Zach Moss had one good week against a bad rush defense, but besides that, it's really just been a volume guy. So I took the under there. And then the other play that I'm rocking with is give me my boy, Tony Rich, over 32.5, longest completion. That's at minus 114 on FanDuel. Biggest criticism with Anthony Richardson, could not do the simple things correctly consistently. But that man, when it comes to the deep ball, was amazing in college, and he's been pretty damn good thus far. He only has 6 attempts. He's completed 2 of them of 20-plus yards. But I watched the film last week. The guy has looked absolutely fantastic, and now he's going to face a Titans pass defense that's horrendous. 25th in deep ball DVOA this year, 32nd in 2022. We saw 9, 7, and 5 attempts of 20-plus yards against the Titans the first 3 weeks when they faced actual quarterbacks and not bums limited by their calf. I think there's going to be plenty of opportunities for them to hit this. As Kyle said in his video, Alec Pierce, 48-yard touchdown down the sideline. I could smell it now. Tony Rich.
You didn't go in. You didn't go in depth enough on that one. It seemed half-assed.
Dude, Tony Rich is ridiculous.
I don't want to ramble for an entire hour.
That last week or whatever it was when they played the Rams and he threw that 40-yard pass right before he almost got hit by Aaron Donald. That kid can throw the football. Yeah.
Dude, Tony Rich has a rocket.
As you know, from those of you who watch on YouTube, I'm on the Colts here. Oh, that's a fumble.
You're gonna make me look at this.
Yeah, yo, your bet just cashed. Prop Beaver ETN had like a 30-yard run.
Fucking go!
All right, so everyone is riding the high of the Titans game last week. That was at home, and that's been a pattern dating back to last year. Both their games at home this year, they look great. The offense specifically, both their games on the road, they've looked like trash. Tannehill, in his last 8 road games, is averaging just 172 passing yards per game, a 79 passer rating. Tannehill hasn't played well on the road at all, and now he's playing a Colts pass defense that's kind of matched, that's kind of built specifically. It's like it's perfect for stopping Tannehill. Tannehill's great against the blitz. You can't send extra guys to Tannehill because he makes quick reads. The Colts generate pressure without sending extra guys. They're just 26th in blitz rate, but they're still getting to the quarterback. Tannehill wasn't good in either of his games against the Colts last year. In his 2 starts against Indy last year, he averages 134 passing yards a game. So I don't like this spot for Tannehill at all. I think the Colts defense is going to look good. I don't really have a ton of faith. Derrick Henry's still great, but I don't think Derrick Henry can carry this offense by himself anymore like he used to 2-3 years ago. I still think the Titans can have an effective run game here and there, but I don't think it's the same thing where it doesn't even matter how Tannehill plays. Derrick Henry got you. I think those days might be over. Now, the Colts offense, look, it's the Titans defense. They're obviously awesome. But Anthony Richardson can run. He's a hell of an athlete, and he's a lot bigger than you think. He's like 6'4". Anthony Richardson's a big dude, and he's quick. He's a hell of an athlete. The reason I bring that up, Titans haven't seen a dual threat quarterback in forever. Week 13 of last season, Jalen Hurts. That's the last time the Titans saw a quarterback that was also a running threat. Eagles beat him 35-10. I think Richardson's going to get busy with his legs. Also, like Prop Beaver mentioned, I won't go through this because he already did. Anthony Richardson, great thrower of the deep ball. Dating back to last year at Florida, he was one of the best deep ball throwers in the FBS. Now, he struggles with accuracy on the short passes. There are criticisms you can make on Anthony Richardson, but as far as throwing the deep ball, he's good at it, and the Titans are terrible. That secondary is bad. If you go deep on that secondary, you could win. So it's just a matter of if Anthony Richardson is going to take those shots, use his legs, I think the Colts can win this game. I'm definitely on Indy here, plus 2.5, fading everybody.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I'm on the Colts. You could make an argument that the Colts could nearly be 4-0. I mean, that first game that they lost against the Jags, they were up, 4 or 5 points going into the fourth quarter, and then they had a really bad fourth quarter. So, yeah, I'm on the Colts as well. I can't really add much than what you guys have already said, though.
Cool. And our poll's on the Colts, which is surprising. I thought everyone was on the Titans here. Our poll's on the Colts. 51% of our viewers are taking the 2.5 with Indy, 35% laying it with Tennessee. Someone said Joe Biden likes the Titans today. Is that true? Did Biden take the Titans?
Yeah, he hammered.
Biden hammered the Titans. All right, Bengals, Cardinals. Can we get an updated line, please, Rob Beaver?
Yeah, so the line at this game is still at 3 consensus. The total is, you can shop around. You can get a 44.5, 45, or 45.5.
I'll just put 45 to make it uniform. Let me guess, you're going to go with James Conner over 13.5 rushing attempts.
No, I faded his ass last week, though, and I cashed. That was sick. I don't know if anybody had the balls to ride with me, but that was sharp as shit, and we cashed, so that was hype. I don't have a play for this one. I really wish. You know what? I do actually. Give me the Cardinals. I've been saying it all year. The Cardinals are the better team than the Bengals. Not all year, but all this week. The Cardinals are the better team than the Bengals. Pretty much in every way, shape, or form. The defense is performing better.
Dude, your graphic that you made says Cardinals -3.
I'll lay the 3. And I think, I just think that this is the better team. We're getting them at home as dogs. We've seen the fight that they put out every single week, even last week against 49ers when they got their asses kicked. I watched the entire game because I had the Connor prop. They were playing them tough. They are a really, really solid team that, despite not having all the talent in the world like the Bengals have, they're still putting up some really solid performances. And I really think that they're going to go out there and show why they're only 3-point dogs to the mighty Bengals. Joe Burrow, he wants to not blame the calf injury. He should. because this is abominable levels of play. Do you want to know how many deep balls he attempted against the Titans defense last week? One pass at 20+ yards. This is not the same QB that we know and love. Fade the shit out of him.
I fixed it. It's Arizona +3 now. Toast, do you have any notes on this game?
Just to add on the Beaver, Joe Burrow, 1 of 10 passing on yards, 20+ down the road. It's just really hard to get behind them. I've actually been riding Arizona, so I'm going to continue to do it. So, yeah, I'm on Arizona as well.
Well, that's a sweep for us then. I'm on the Cards too. It's not so much a fade of Joe Burrow, though, which is, I think, a lot of people's reasoning for betting the Cardinals this week. Everyone's fading Joe Burrow. He doesn't look great. I expect Joe Burrow to come back at some point. Jamar Chase is even without Higgins, Jamar Chase is too good. Like, talent-wise, he's as good as it gets at wide receiver. And I think Joe Burrow will come back eventually. This is actually a bet on the Cardinals offense, which somehow looks excellent. I mean, I know it's only been 4 games, but through 4 games, look at these numbers. Arizona's got the 6th highest rated passing attack in the NFL. Dobbs is playing smart. He's playing conservative. He's taking what's there. I love a quarterback who isn't scared to throw the ball away on 3rd down. Punt, trust your defense. Make the smart move. Don't make the mistake. Dobbs is playing smart. They have the 6th best passing attack in the NFL and the 5th best rushing attack. This is the side of the football I'm betting. I'm betting the Cardinals offense against the Bengals defense, which, by the way, might be missing Hendrickson and Cheeto. Can you give me an update on that, Prop Beaver, if they're playing for me? Cheeto and Hendrickson.
Right away, sir.
Neither of them practiced on Friday. But anyway, so Cardinals, 6th best passing attack in the NFL. Rushing, 5th best. This is like a good offense so far. Now, it's been 4 games, but look who they played. Dallas, Washington on the road. That's not the easiest defense to go on the road and score on. San Francisco on the road. I mean, it's not like they have an easy schedule. This offense is producing against good defenses. Cincinnati's defense isn't bad, but it's powered by their pass rush. Cincinnati's allowing 5.1 yards per carry on the ground this season. That's 30th in the NFL. Arizona might just come out running the ball, chip away. I think they could win. Now, is there a chance Joe Burrow of last year shows up? Of course. But at home, getting 3 points with the team that looks significantly better, that's definitely the spot I want to be here.
I got the update. So T. Higgins not playing, obviously. Trey Hendrickson should be good to go, while Chidobe Awuzie is a game-time decision. So
Hendrickson should be playing. Cheeto probably out.
Probably out, yeah.
Okay. All right, let's see where our polls at. Our polls are on Arizona. Oh, actually, we're split even. 44% Bengals -3, 43% Cardinals +3, 8% under, 3% over. So that's a split one. We'll put the Bengals in at the end for the teaser community thing. Eagles at Rams. Eagles, updated line, please.
The line is at, you could get at 4.5 on MGM and FanDuel, but 4 on every other book. Meanwhile, the total is at 50.5.
That dropped because that was at 4.5 like an hour ago.
50. Yeah, I got it at 4.5 last night.
Yeah, I mean, real recent. That was at 4.5 when I was typing the stuff up like an hour ago. So all right, you can get Eagles -4. So I'll give people Eagles -4 in the poll if that's what they like. Prop Beaver, you have a bet?
Yeah, I'm just want to make sure this is still at a playable mark. I'm taking a Kyren Williams under. Yeah, it's at 50. Damn, it's at 56.5 -140. I would play this down to 54.5. So give me Kyren Williams under 54.5 rushing yards. The reason why I like this so much today is just I'm selling high after an outlier performance. McVay went in with a clear game plan against the Colts last week, shocked them with the run, and they did. He had 25 attempts in that game, 103 yards, only 4.1 yards per carry. That's a complete outlier. You look at the first 3 weeks, he's averaging 13 attempts per game, 47.3 yards per game, and 3.6 yards per carry. Extremely inefficient. He's now going to face a Philly rush defense that's actually been on fire this year compared to the dog shit they were last year. Thus far, Philly has held all 4 opposing running backs under their total, averaging just 34 yards per game on 2.8 yards per carry. Brian Robinson, 45 yards. Rashad White, 38 yards. Madison, 28 yards. Ramondre Stevenson, 25 yards. Now, one could say, oh, well, that's weak competition. Kyren Williams, yada, yada, yada. Kyren Williams, A, isn't efficient, and B, their O-line is not geared to be a running O-line. They're much better in pass protection. I just think that this is very inflated, and if you could get it, I mean, anything above 54.5 would hammer this down.
I am on the Rams, plus 4.5 here. So there's a couple areas of this Eagles team, and this isn't like concerning because it hasn't been bad. It just hasn't been the Eagles we saw last year, and we're going to touch on a couple of them. The first one being the pass defense. The pass rush is just okay. I mean, what are they? I actually have it right here. They're 13th in pressure rate, 16th in pass defense DVOA. They're allowing, 16th, I'm sorry. They're out in yards per pass attempt allowed. 17th in pass defense DVOA. This is, analytically, this is an average pass defense this year and an average pass rush. And another thing the Eagles defense has really struggled with this season, third down conversions. I just described Matt Stafford's specialty. So the Eagles are struggling against the pass and struggling to make stops on third down. And Matt Stafford at home, that's what he does, is he eats on third down. So I like the matchup for Stafford. I think he's going to have a good game. I kind of like Prop Beaver's angle about Kyren Williams. Maybe people after last week jumping on him. Maybe the run game won't be there for the Rams in this one because the Eagles' run defense has been surprisingly good. But I will say Fletcher Cox isn't playing in this game, who was the Eagles' best run stopper last year. This year, it's probably been that kid from Georgia. But
Harder.
Yeah, no Fletcher Cox on the field for the Eagles in this one. They're also still missing. What's wrong with my voice today? Sorry. They're still missing Nakobe Dean. Nicholas Morrow, who's one of their backup linebackers who's been seeing snaps in place of Nakobe Dean, he's away from the team on personal reasons. So they're really thin at linebacker. I don't trust the Eagles defense right now. And the Eagles offense, obviously I think it's good. But it's a weird matchup here because the Rams defense is good against the pass. And Jalen Hurts has been all right. He just hasn't been that elite. I don't think he's going to have an elite day throwing the ball on this Rams defense. Are the Eagles going to be able to run the ball on the Rams? Of course they are. But that's minus 4.5 on the road. That means if this game was in Philly, they'd be laying 9.5, 10. I think that's just way too big of a gap. I don't think these two teams are that far apart based on the way they've been playing this year. So Rams plus 4.5, I feel like that's where the value is on this one.
Yeah, I couldn't really say much more than what Saw said. I'm on the Rams as well. I took them last night at plus 4.5. I will say one cool little thing. The Rams become the third team in the last 20 years to be a home underdog of more than a field goal without an ATS loss on the season. The other two happened. Both of those teams won outright as 3.5 and 5.5 point dogs. So just a little something.
Someone said I need tea with honey. Yeah, apparently I do. Our poll is on the Rams. Our poll is taking the dogs today. I like it.
Bet you if you chew a piece of gum, you'll be all right.
47%. No, I promised the Discord I was getting rid of the gum.
I know. That's why I said it.
47% of our viewers taking the Rams plus 4.5, 39% laying it with Philly. Chiefs.
Did you guys hear?
Vikes.
Kyren Williams is the casual capper play of the day, according to Cover Kings. Sees zero reason why he shouldn't go over his line.
Well, I don't even know who that is, dude.
He's the king of covers.
Oh, the Cover King. How do you not know the Cover King?
How do you not know him, dude?
Is this line still at 3.5?
Yes, it is at 3.5 consensus.
Total?
The total is at 52.5.
Okay. How do we not know the Cover King?
Dude, you've never heard of the Muffin Man?
I knew that was coming.
Prop Beaver, do you have a bet in this one?
Yeah, I do. I found it right before the show, and I actually love it. Give me Alexander Mattison under 15.5 receiving yards. Running backs against KC are still being priced like it's 2022. Last year, KC allowed the third most yards per game, 48, and the second most targets per game, 8, to the running back position. This year, that has not been the case whatsoever, and I learned that hard week 1 betting Jahmyr Gibbs. Against running backs this year, they're allowing the 6th fewest yards per game, which is 19, and 4th fewest targets per game, just 4 to running backs through the air. Madison's already under 3 or 4 starts already, averaging 14 yards per game. But what I saw that I don't like last week for him, a little discouraging, he only ran 9 routes last week in his first game with Cam Akers on the field. He averaged 27 of those weeks 1 to 3 without him on the field. So he's seeing a massive decrease in route opportunities, and only 1 of 4 RBs to face KC have hit 16 plus yards, nevertheless go over their total. So I just think that there's tons of value here. Had a lot of success last week with the receiving under on Ramondre Stevenson. I think this is a similar spot, and he goes under.
All right, give me the Vikes. Taking it still at 3.5. I think when I made the YouTube video last night, or 2 days ago is when I made it, it was at 4.5. Wish I was still getting 4.5, but I'd still take it at 3.5. This one's, like I said, on YouTube if you want to go check that out. But basically, the very obvious square side is the Vikings. Public's all over the Chiefs, And it's not, obviously the public wins all the time. It's not that, oh man, someone just got hurt, but that looks bad. But it's not that the public wins all the time. It's, all right, just to give you an idea, I want to paint a scenario for you guys, and I want you guys to seriously listen. So when I post a video, right, if I post a video where I choose the public side, do you know what a comment looks like of someone who, like the Chiefs last week, -9.5 at the Jets. You know what a comment looks like from somebody who disagreed with me and bet the Jets? He goes, great video, Kyle. I'm fading you on this one. I'm taking the Jets. Number's a little too high for me, and the public's all over the Chiefs. That's what a comment looks like who someone's fading me when I'm on the public side. When I take the sharp side, read the comments. It's like, this fat motherfucker doesn't know shit about football, just working for the Bucs. It's like the most angry, disrespectful, insane shit. And just seriously take yourself back and ask yourself, who do you want to go in on an investment with? Who do you think is, which side do you think is making money long term? Do you really think like the people that talk like that, who I had 4 consecutive winning weeks in NFL, lost Thursday Night Football, and commented, I make so much money fading this guy, telling blatant lies, blatantly disrespectful. You really think these are the people that who you consistently want to be on the same side as? I don't. I'm on the Vikings here, not to say, again, the public wins all the time. I'm not saying like being on the public side is stupid. I'm just wanted to explain that.
Just really quickly on the public love thing really quickly. In the NFL this year, through 4 weeks, the public, which constitutes any team getting the over 51% of the votes, 33, 24, and 3 ATS. So actually the public has done pretty damn well this year. So good job for now. It's only 4 weeks through.
Yeah, where are you doing on this? Oh, but anyway, my reasoning is it's on YouTube, and this is a good video. If you want to check that out. I don't want to go through it all, but I like the Vikings offense in this matchup. Chiefs pass rush hasn't been there. Look what Zach Wilson looked like when you gave him a time in the pocket. You give Kirk Cousins that same time in the pocket because the Chiefs pass rush hasn't been there. I think the Vikings are going to score a lot of points in this game. So,
yeah, the Vikings can't run the ball, but they can pass it. No question about that. Patrick Mahomes didn't really look good last week for me. I mean, Zach Wilson was the only person that he had more completions, more yards, and touchdown passes. So I'll take my shot with the Vikings at plus 3.5 as well.
Yep, 2 votes on the Vikings. But actually, to your point, the Vikings can't run the ball. Actually, the run game is waking up. Last 2 games, yards per carry's up. Vikings is starting to run the ball a little bit last 2 games. But anyway, let's see where our poll's at. It's on the Chiefs. Not as heavy, though, as you may think. 49% of the votes coming in on Chiefs minus 3.5. I'm sorry. 36% taking the points of the Vikings. 11% over. I would probably be on the over. Well, not probably. I'd be on the over for sure if I was to take a total here. Jets at Broncos. Prop Beaver, our resident Jets fan, diehard Jets, just a master of all things Jets. Are you
the Jets tattoo?
Is it still 2.5 consensus?
Yes, it is still 2.5 consensus, and I believe that total is at 43.5.
43.5. All right.
Fantastic day in Denver. 78
Yeah.
clear. Barely any wins.
We got like 3 domes in a row there. Forgot.
Yeah, great day for Will Lutz to get 2 field goals in.
That's what you're Will Lutz field goals.
Lutz.
That's what I'm piping in for your pick.
Yes,
Will
you are.
Slutz.
Oh my
Slutty
God.
baby. Give me Will Slutz over 1.5 field goals made. And we're going to have to parlay that because the odds moved from minus 120 to minus 160. We're going to have to parlay that. Yes, they did. We're going to have to parlay that with Breece Hall, 25 plus yards. That comes to minus 130. Dude, the Jets right now are unbelievable in terms of the amount of field goal attempts they are letting transpire against them on a weekly basis. It's just getting silly at this point. They're allowing 3.8 field goal attempts per game.
Bro, you get a 30-second cap about field goal props. I'm not letting you ramble for 3 minutes about a field goal.
No, let him talk.
Kickers matter. Kickers matter too. And 3.5 field goals made per game. It's been just an all-you-can-eat buffet for kickers. Jets red zone D is lethal. 25% of red zone chances against the Jets are failing. That is first in the NFL. Lutz has a boot. We got the mile-high boost. Breece Hall has the chains off of him. He's going through 400 today. It's beautiful. It doesn't get more beautiful than this.
Are you done?
All I can tell you is Will Lutz is a lock. As soon as Beaver sent to me yesterday, he said, hey, I got a kicker prop for you because he knows I've been loving them.
Yeah.
I hammered it. They took it down off of Prize Picks. They took it down off of Underdog. He's probably going to kick 3 or 4 field goals. If you can't get field goals, you can take his kicking points as long as it's like 7.5.
What is wrong with you? This is not a field goal show.
Okay, I also got Garrett Wilson over 58 receiving yards. I think that Zach Wilson's going to have a little bit of a day, and Garrett Wilson with that horrible pass defense of the Broncos, Garrett Wilson's going to get himself some yards too. So there's another square for you.
I think Zach Wilson sucks. And I think people are crazy for betting him. There is no way I'm going to take the Jets after one decent Zach Wilson game. In a game where, by the way, he did look good. He looked good. I'm not trying to take anything away from him. But let's take a step back and look at it as a whole. The Chiefs pass rush wasn't there. The Jets scored 20 points, and Mahomes gifted them 2 bad interceptions. Still only scored 20 points at home. So everyone's like, oh, the Jets defense is good now, when it's like their good performance wasn't even that good. Will they score points on the Broncos defense? Sure. The Broncos defense sucks, but Russell Wilson is having a great season. 3 of the 4 games he's had a passer rating above 105. Only 2 games he exceeded that number all of last year. No one's talking about it because they're 1-3. They haven't looked great. But Russell Wilson is having a very good season. The Broncos offense went from one of the worst in the NFL last year. It's pretty middle of the road. This might be above average offense. Russell Wilson, the Jets pass rush has not been there. I like the Broncos to score on the Jets here. And it's Zach Wilson. I think if I bet the Jets, I could already see it happening. I was just talking about this in the Discord. Bet the Jets, and then second quarter when Zach Wilson fumbles, and you're sitting there like, I really let myself get suckered into betting the Jets based off one decent Zach Wilson performance. No. We know what Zach Wilson is. It's not like we're just finding out. We know what he is. He's not the best quarterback. Russell Wilson's far better. Denver -2.5. I actually hit the Denver money line hard in this one. Our poll is on the Jets.
I will give out my MLB picks at the end of the show. I see all your comments. I will give them out at the end, I promise.
A bit of breaking news. Chris Olave favoring his right ankle. Maybe a fade today. Does not look good. I just watched the video, and his ankle looks terrible. He looks like he couldn't even play.
You watched the video of his ankle?
Yeah, it was just his ankle. He was just moving it around. No, he was running routes in pregame, you dickhead, and he looked terrible. I might take his under at 62.5.
Are you sure he wasn't dancing like some cool new dance move you don't know about?
I don't know what video you would watch where you get a good look at his ankle. Are you
on Twitter, dickhead?
Are you a licensed physician, Prop Beaver?
No, I'm not one of those fantasy accounts where it's like, oh, well, it looks like he tore his ACL. It's like, yeah, I think so, dude.
46% of our viewers taking the points with the Jets, 33% laying them with Denver, 13% under. Next. Last game, and it's Sunday night. Is it 3.5 still, Prop Beaver?
Yes,
Cowboys plus 3.5. 49ers minus 3.5 over. What's the total at? 45?
Yes.
45. Prop Beaver's a feet guy.
Foul. That is so foul. I don't like feet, yo.
That's fucking the comment of the day.
Stop!
Prop Beaver's a feet guy.
Stop! I don't like feet.
Would you give a bet out, bro?
Yeah, I don't have one for this ball game. So
shocker.
Pass.
Shocker. Sunday Night Football, primetime betting. Prop Beaver passes.
You know what? Fuck it. Michael Gallup over receiving yards. Dude's been looking good the last 2 weeks. I'll tell you that for sure.
I just bullied him into a bet.
And CD Lamb's poo-poo stain. So
how many receiving yards?
Dude, no, just pass. I just looked at it. I'm capping. Pass.
Okay, so
I was flapping.
It's back.
I'm slap happy.
Back to pass. All right, I'm on the 49ers here. Says Dolphins, man.
Oh my God,
there
I'm
it
so
is.
sorry.
Never. I was Dolphins in on this folder. Whatever. This one's on YouTube. Go check it out. Not gonna go through it all. I actually like the way the Cowboys match up with San Francisco. I think that the Cowboys defense is going to be the first one to make the 49ers offense look human. So far, it's looked pretty unstoppable. I think they're going to struggle. I think Brock Purdy's going to struggle a little bit. I think the pressure is going to be a factor. McCaffrey, this is going to be the first game where maybe he doesn't look like he's playing against FCS programs. I like the Cowboys defense in the matchup, but on the other side, I just don't trust Dak Prescott and the Cowboys offense on the road here in San Francisco. 49ers pass rush have been putting a lot of pressure on quarterbacks. Haven't been getting the sacks, though. They only have like 9 sacks, I think, on the season. They're towards the bottom of the league, but they're third in pressure rate. So the pressure's there. They just haven't been getting the sacks. I think they're coming, and I think they're coming tonight, even though the Cowboys' offensive line is healthy and it's been good in pass protection. So it's not a fade of the Cowboys' offensive line. I just think the 49ers' defense is too good. I think Dak Prescott makes a couple bad mistakes. And I think the Cowboys defense looks great. You know what? Best way to describe what I think is going to happen? I think it's going to look really similar to the NFC division game last year, where Cowboys defense played all right. I think the final score is 19-12, 49ers. So I'll say final score 21-16, 49ers. Cowboys. It's 21-9. Cowboys score a late touchdown. 21-16. We'll say Cowboys score a late touchdown to make it close.
That was a dope prediction.
All right, which field goal prop do you like?
Yeah, I just don't trust Dak Prescott. 5.4 yards average depth per target this season. He was at 8 yards per target last year. I mean, that's a huge drop off. Cowboys are my favorite team, but I don't really like how this public San Francisco is. One positive thing about Dallas, the Cowboys 10-4 straight up and 11-3 ATS at night. Most profitable team ATS in that span. So, but yeah, I'll probably just be watching this game as a fan. If I'm up, I'll probably tail sauce with the 49ers because they've absolutely throttled the Cowboys the last 2 times they've played them. Even though it was in the playoffs, I don't care.
Yo, people are just sending feet emojis. All right. It's coming up at 12 o'clock, so let's do the community parlay. We're gonna do. We did a community teaser. I think that was a good idea. Let's do that. It didn't hit, but I think it was a good idea. Community teaser. Damn it, we should have been writing down which teams were winning, but I think I remember.
Just really quickly, has the Atlanta Braves scored a run yet? Anybody?
Oh shit, Toast, do you want to run through those real quick first?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Braves are frauds. I've been telling you guys for months. They didn't score a run. I done told you. I tried to tell you today. Texas money line, Houston money line. Just keep on riding the wave, boys.
So that's Rangers money line, Astros money line, and Phillies money line.
They don't play till tomorrow. But
they don't. So it
will be Phillies tomorrow.
There's 2 games tomorrow.
Yep.
All right, are they're Monday night, so we'll do a live show so we can talk about it and joke around and stuff. But all right, that's Toast's 2 baseball picks: Rangers money line, Astros money line. He's been hot too. He's been carrying us the last week because I have started to shit the bed. So community parlay. Actually, if the Dodgers didn't lose, you would have swept the board, right? Oh man, you would have been. Mm-hmm. All right, so let's see what we got as far as teasers. First game would be Giants at Dolphins. So they picked the Dolphins. So teased down to 7. So here we go. We'll go Dolphins -7. Next game, Saints Patriots. They picked the Saints, so that would be teased 7.5. Saints plus 7.5. Ravens. They picked the Ravens, so that'd be teased to 1.5. Ravens plus 1.5. And then they pick Panthers or Lions. They picked Detroit. So that would be Lions -3.5. All right, what's the first leg of our teaser? Cast your votes. Bro, I really hope. Bills just turned the ball over.
I can't believe Jacksonville still has 11 points and I'm still covering. I'm shocked.
I really hope Prop Beaver foot fetish becomes a recurring thing on this show.
I'll suck a bitch toes as long as they're pretty.
Dude, inappropriate language. Dolphins -7, easy winner. Next
I forgot
up.
we're a PG program.
Next up is where we leave off. So Texans Falcons. We were on the Falcons, so that would be Falcons +3.5. Titans Colts. We were on the Colts in that one, and they agreed with us. So Colts +8.5.
I just sent you an underdog, by the way.
Oh, did you? Okay, cool. We'll get to that in 1 second. And then Eagles Rams. Did the Eagles win that? I think they did.
For sure.
It was close though. Second leg. Colts votes coming in there. Maybe they like that going over all the key numbers. +2.5 is a very popular teaser. This is Colts by a blowout. I can end it already. It's Colts by a mile. So Dolphins -7, Colts +8.5. Next, Eagles at Rams. We just did.
Somebody just wrote, "I'm not wearing socks, Beaver."
That's funny. All right, Jets Broncos.
It's so random.
And then which got second place here?
No, I'm glad this is funny to you.
I don't even think it's you. I just think it's people going at it. I'm not laughing at you.
I'm not wearing socks.
It's just funny how things just go.
All right, third leg. I have tears in my eyes.
I can hear you laughing, so I can't stop.
It's 49ers. 49ers +2.5. Do we want to do 3 legs? Oh, so Jets, the 3 second place finishers were Saints +7.5, Falcons +3.5, Jets +8.5. So let's try it. Falcons +3.5, Saints +7.5, and then I think Jets +8.5. All right, so let's finish our community parlay. Oh man, that was a good laugh. Someone said 4 legs. He goes, no, 4 feet. It looks like it's going to be the Falcons.
Everybody's like, "Oh, they're so high." I'm not even high yet. Like that's the best part. Like,
I'm not either.
It's
just
7
having a
a.m.
good
where I'm
time. Just having a good time. And it's going to be the Falcons. Toast, what are the odds on that?
I didn't put it together. I'm so sorry.
All right, can you put that together real quick? I'll
Yes.
hide that, and we'll do Prop Beaver's Underdog.
Well, if it's a teaser, it's going to be 160 on a 3-leg no matter what, right?
It's a 4-leg.
It's a foul. That's a foul.
All right, Prop Beaver just sent me his Underdog. I got it. Let's bring that up. I didn't. Where's the Underdog? I did not make an Underdog for this one. I forgot.
Where's the quickest place to put one of these like teasers together?
Oh, well, I would just go to like open up DraftKings or FanDuel and literally just.
Are you crafting it, Toast, or should I save the
I'm
day?
trying. I'm trying to figure. My thing's going really slow.
Toast, I have your Underdog. I mean, Beaver, I have your Underdog up if you want to explain your legs.
Yeah, the Chris Olave one, I'm literally about to post on Twitter as soon as the show is done. Patriots are great at shutting down number 1 wide receivers. All 4 have gone under. They held Tyreek Hill under 50. They just held Garrett Wilson under 50. They held the most recent guy they played, who they played last week, CeeDee Lamb under 50, and what was a great matchup. And now they're getting Jonathan Jones back in the mix, and J.C. Jackson, who, while he's been terrible as a Charger, he's been great as a Patriot, so he's back in the mix. That's great. Explained Dameon Pierce earlier. Should not have that much time in terms of possession. Bijan should be running it all
it's
day.
all your
Falcons
picks from the
rush
show.
good. Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I didn't know that.
It.
If you want to hear about these legs, just scroll back. He covered each of these. I didn't know they were the same ones. If you don't have an Underdog account, they're available at any state highlighted on this map here. Highlighted in yellow. If you're in one of these states, head over to Underdog Fantasy, the website, or download the app. Make sure you use the promo code BET, B-E-T. That'll get you a $100 deposit bonus. I believe that $500 deposit bonus ended. They told me October 4th, so I think that's over. They told me they were going to run another one, though, so I'll keep you posted on that. So, yeah, that's promo code BET, B-E-T. And do we have odds on this yet?
Plus 240.
Plus 240. So there's the community parlay.
DraftKings doesn't let you do teasers.
You can do alternate lines on there, 100%. You have to do it manually, though. You have to literally go.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was having to do it manually.
Yeah. But Dolphins -7, Colts plus 8.5, 49ers plus 2.5, Falcons plus 3.5, which gives us plus 240 for our community teaser parlay. Thanks as always for watching. I hate that we have to do it at the same time as the London game. And there's no way we can fix it because we're not going to do it. It sucks. But
how many more London games are there?
I think there's one more next week.
Their German game?
I don't know. I just wish I know they want it as a standalone so it gets the most publicity for marketing purposes, but I just wish have the London game start at 7 p.m. over there, a 1 p.m. game here. They get their game. It doesn't interrupt our schedule. But whatever. All right, everyone. Have yourselves a great day. Remember to bet responsibly. I have 5 top bets today. They're on KyleKirms.com if you want to check them out. I gave out 2 parlays. One is medium risk. One is high risk. The high risk one, just chill on. Don't go betting that one. And then I know it hit in week 1 and 2, but it hasn't hit since. So high risk one is a little high risk. So everyone, enjoy your day. We'll talk soon.